Yeah, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, today, Juno and I, we got one here for you. We got some skiff bearings. There's going to be a skiff bearing installed for the S models. And these are the skiff bearings that you need to get. These are the specially made skiff bearings for the S models, coming from Skiff. Now I've already did a modification on a couple of my knives with these new bearings in the previous video, my last video that I made. But this one is basically just a skiff bearing install video. That's the whole purpose of this video. We're going to install skiff bearings in my last two ADS models that don't have skiff bearings in them. Now these skiff bearings are a special size because you cannot use AD20 bearings or AD20.5 bearings in an AD20S model. The AD20S model has its own size of bearing, which is different from the AD20 and AD20.5. But it's sort of like a hybrid of the two because it has the same size bearings as the AD20.5, the 1mm bearings, but it has the inner diameter because it has a larger pivot, the same larger pivot as the AD20, which is a 1/4 inch pivot as opposed to a 6mm pivot as in the AD20.5. These are double row bearings. They have 22 bearings. These are the ones you want to get. Let me see if I can hold this so you can see the labeling really good. If you want to get skiff bearings. If you want to get ceramic bearings for your AD20S model. These are the only bearings I've been able to find. I requested them from Skiff that were able to be made for the AD20S. Nobody else makes these bearings. They're like $14 a set, if I remember right. Let me see if it has a price and receipt. Cage bearings, pivot, 1/4 inch ceramic, a 1/4 inch pivot. Ceramic bearings, 1mm thick, 22 balls. And doesn't have a price. It's coming from the Skiff Workshop. Skiffmadeblades.com. www.skiffmadeblades.com. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. Absolutely love skiff bearings. I highly recommend them. I've been using them in all of my AD20s. And after looking for them and not being able to find them, I just requested them from Skiff, and they're making them. So, if you want to get these bearings, go to Skiff's. You know, if you have an AD20S model, you want to put some ceramic bearings in it, make it a little bit smoother, go to Skiff's. All right, here we go. First up, let's do the first one I have first, the aluminum one, with the D2 blade, and this has the old style D2 blade. That doesn't have any milling on the blade tang. This is one of the original AD20S's when they first came out. It originally had blue grivery hand scales and blue grivery handle scales. And I absolutely love the grivery handle scales. Don't get me wrong, nothing's wrong with the grivery handle scales. I just like these better. The other one that I have that I got off of eBay that had a slight issue. Let you guys see what it looks like on the inside. Oh yeah, the pins are falling out. Let's see if we get this one to come out. There we go. Where'd the other one go? Fall on the floor. Oh, there it is. Okay. See how thick these scales are? These scales make this knife super strong. These are aluminum scales that are black ceramic coated. This is the OG2 pattern. This knife has hardly ever been carried, because the ones I carry is this one, the shark's foot. I carried this one for 4 days. But this one's still like a brand new knife. As you can see, there's no wear in it. Uh-oh, I'm losing parts. No wear in it or anything. That's the part I need, so I gotta get up and get it. It's the pivot. This is live. Bloopers are included. All right, here we go. These are the old bearings. All I'm doing is swapping bearings on it. I'm not doing anything else on this knife. Just swapping bearings. Trading the old ones, the old steel bearings, which look like that on this side, and they're like hollow on this side. And we're going to use these bearings. Actually, I need one more set of bearings now because I got one more AD20S model. I used to only have 4. Now I have 5. I got these bearings, the Skiff bearings, which look the same on both sides. Now, phosphorous bronze cages, and these are ceramic balls, 1mm thick ceramic balls. Okay, the way I like to do these, I like to put them in a little bit of grease. Rub the grease around on them. Just to basically just coat them. Put the pivot back in. There we go. You're going to lay this down flat. Where's my blade? There's my blade. See, this blade is not milled out. This is the way that they used to make them. Now they mill them out for the bearing to be able to fit in it, like a little groove for the bearing to be able to fit in it. Sort of like they do the liners, like that. They do it on the pivot, on the blade tanks now. That's the one big change I've seen since the new ones, the difference between the new ones and the old ones. Other than the blade steels. That's something totally different though. And as far as the manufacturing, that's one change I've seen different. And from what John Demko told me, you do not, if you modify these knives, you do not want to separate the blade from the lock bar, because what he told me is that the lock bar and the blades. Let me move this forward so everybody can see what I'm doing a little bit better. That the lock bars and the blades are matched. And that might be the problem that the other one that I got off of eBay, is that maybe it was the wrong lock bar for that blade. That's what John thinks it might be the problem. And so that knife has been sent to John. It's on its way to John Demko right now. Wampum, PA. It's on its way. I will keep you guys updated on that, let you know how it turns out. So far, I am totally impressed with the customer service from Demko Knives. It's just like cold steel used to be. I feel like I'm dealing with cold steel. I really like the way that they're running their company. That will make me a customer forever. Because usually, when I feel like I'm being treated right, it makes me want to come back and buy more products from the people. Especially when they're making, you know, like awesome products. Makes me even want their products even more. 'Cause I know if I ever have an issue, it's easy to, you know, to take care of the issue. Because they care about their products. To me, to me, when you care about your products, you want to have a good reputation. And a good way to have a good reputation is have excellent customer service. That's one of the most important things, especially if you're selling most of your products online, like, you know, knife companies do. Because people aren't going to buy your products if they don't have confidence in, you know, needing to return things or exchange things, or when things are faulty or have a problem that they can be fixed or whatever. If they feel like they can't trust you, they're not going to buy your products. And one of the main reasons why I used to buy Cold Steel products was because, not only because they made the best locks and had Andrew Demko designed knives, but because they had an excellent warranty service. Whenever I had a problem with a Cold Steel knife, all I had to do was just call them up and they'd tell me to send them the knife. I'd send them the knife and they'd take care of it. No problems. Nothing was never a big deal. They're always happy to help. And that's the way I felt with this experience I've been having with John Demko. I feel he's awesome. I hope as they get bigger, though, you know, they hire good people to do what he's doing, because I know, you know, it's going to get to, you know, if their company expands and gets bigger, you know, he's not going to be able to handle everything. That's just common sense. Because I have a funny feeling if the Demkos want to make their knife making company into a major knife making company, they can do it. Because they got the rep. They got the street cred. They could do it. And people just absolutely love their knives. I know I do. Okay, go all the way up to just finger tight. You don't see me torquing anything down. Just going finger tight, like that, and then I just touch it back just a touch. Now this doesn't have any Loctite in it. I'll have to re-Loctite. I'll put blue Loctite in it. Perfectly centered. No movement in the blade at all. Not as you open it up or anything. No movement in the blade. No movement up and down. No movement side to side. This is a perfect knife. Perfect example of the AD20S model, the original version of the D2. Absolutely love these. Okay, that's one done. Let's do the titanium one. This is the aluminum one from Original Goat. With the goat skills. Okay, let's do the titanium one next. One more to go. I'll have to get another set of bearings though from Skiff. Probably get a couple more sets, because I like to always have spares of things like bearings and stuff like that. When it comes to parts, I never have a problem with having spares. That one had some Loctite on it. I put blue Loctite on this one last time I put it together. All right. The old bearings. Out with the old, in with the new. In with the new. Make it super, super smooth. Let you guys see what the inside of this one looks like. Aren't these scales beautiful? They're beautiful inside and out. Not just one side of them looks beautiful, the whole entire scale looks beautiful. Doesn't matter what angle you're looking at it from, or inside and out, or whatever. They did an excellent job on it, if you ask me. The only thing I would like to see them do, though, I'd like to see them make it a little bit lighter by, lightening it up a little bit. That'd be my only suggestion. I know they probably copied the, not copied, but wanted to make them, as close to being like the Demko ones as possible. So I bet you the Demko ones are solid. That's probably the reason why they made them like that. But they could stand to use some lightening, no doubt, because they are heavy. They will make your knife weigh 7.3 or 4 ounces, depending on if you're using a backspacer or not. That's the tricky part in this one. Okay. I don't want the pins to fall out. Okay. The drop point blade. See how it's milled out in the blade tang? This is a new style of S models. This is the way the new S model blade tangs look. This is a 2022 knife. New for 2022. My other ones are from the original run. I have my L Max and this one are the new ones from this year. This is a 390. Oh, I forgot to put some more lube on the spring. Absolutely love these S models. I know you guys probably get tired of me hearing me say it's my favorite knife, but it is. It is. I like it on a whole lot of different levels too, because it's fun to modify them to make them the way that you want them to be. Instead of making them the way the factory made them, you can make them the way that, to your personal preference and taste. I think that's super cool to be able to do that. That's one thing I always liked about Spydercos, even though I'm really not a Spyderco person. I like a couple Spyderco knives a whole lot, but the rest of them I'm not really a Spyderco person about. Oh, I forgot to put the bearing on the other side. My bad. I'm going to keep the grease out of the inside of the pivot. Otherwise, you have to clean out the inside of it, because the pivot will always come loose. I still haven't sent back the other backspacer that I need to send back to get the proper backspacer for this set. It's something I still need to do. I have to always get these screws started and screwed in a little bit, not necessarily tightened up just yet. But just start so the pins won't fall out if I need to pick up the knife to get the pivot totally lined. I like to get these ones started first. I will be taking these pivot screws back out because I will re-Loctite them. I'm not going to Loctite them right now. That's also one of the things I like to do. There we go. Now we're totally in. Remember, just go to finger tight and back it off just a touch. Now I'm finished tightening up all your other screws. Now, on these, I always like to put the bearings back in here and save the bearings. So I've done all 4 of them now. The other 2 I've already done. All these have Skiff bearings in them now. All my S models. Except for the one that's off with Demko net right now. With John Demko. Skiff bearings. Now I like to put a little dab of oil. I usually like to put it right down in here. And then just work it into the pivots. Pivot bearings. Oh, that feels so smooth already. Oh yeah. Needs a little bit more tightening. There we go. No blade play anywhere. Locked, open, no up and down. Perfectly centered. Put a little oil on this one too. Oh man, I love these knives. These are the best knives. I need to stop saying that though. That's not cool because a lot of people make great knives. Just because I think these are the best doesn't mean that they are the best. I just think they're the best. I want to see more of these. I want to see some bigger ones. You know, I'd like to see some longer AD20. You know what would be really cool? Is an AD20.5 XL. Whoa, now that would be cool. Make it like 4 inches, give it like a 4-inch blade. I think that would be cool. An AD20.5 XL. Instead of a 3-inch blade, and a 3 1/4 inch blade, go with a 4-inch blade. You know, one that's a little bit small, shorter than 4 inches, one that's almost 4 inches. So, you know, be legal everywhere. But make it the same way that you make the AD20, so like super slim, AD20.5, super slim, super lightweight. Use the same formula, just stretch it out. Don't make the knife wider, just make it longer. That would be awesome. And with this one, same thing, stretch it out. Stretch it out to, you know, a full 4 inches. Or, you know, even for this one, it'd be really cool, make it a 4. But I know with legalities, I know the reason why, you know, that people don't make 4.5-inch knives and 5.5-inch knives, blade knives, is because they're not legal everywhere. And if you're running a company, you know, you want to be able to sell your product everywhere. So I totally understand, you know, keeping things around 4 inches. I totally get that. I would like to see one of these in a 4-inch too. Even though this is perfect for me. I love the way the handle fits my hand. It's perfect. I just like bigger knives. But this one's an excellent easy EDC size. These are my favorite knives to EDC, the AD20S models. And most of these knives that you see on this table, I haven't really EDC'd. I haven't EDC'd. Well, I EDC'd this one for about 4 days straight. I absolutely love it. But then it only had the G10 handle scales on it. I EDC'd it 1 day with the titanium scales. And it was a pants puller. It was pulling my pants down. This one I haven't EDC'd. This one has never been carried. This is a brand new knife. It's never been carried. It was brand new when I transformed it. And it's the L-Max I got for Brian. It's awesome. My new buddy of Brian. And just went and checked him out today. We just went and checked him out today. Hooked him up with a bag lighter. Bag lighter XL. One that he wanted, that I had. But, and I had an extra one, so it was cool. But, absolutely love this knife. Absolutely love it. But then again, this is heavier than this one. This one weighs 7.4 ounces, I think it was. And this one is 7.3. These both are 6 ounces. Both of these are 6 ounces. To me, for a knife that I want to carry, I'd rather carry the 6-ounce knife than the 7.5-ounce knife. If they're the exact same size and dimensions and everything, if I have a choice. I know the titanium is more expensive and luxurious material, and rarer material and more expensive material than aluminum is, but the aluminum is lighter. It's a lot lighter. It's like 1.5 ounces lighter. And that's a big enough difference, you know, and in hand it feels the same, but these aren't the solid aluminum handles that eliminate the liners. You still have the steel liners, stainless steel liners in here. And I sort of like that too though, because I know stainless steel wears better than titanium does. It seems like it'd be better for holding pins in place and stuff like that. I don't know. But I know the rave is the titanium, but actually when it comes to being a user, for the users, I think I'd rather have the aluminum. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just telling you my experience. Because I carried around the titanium one and it was heavy. Not so heavy that I didn't want to carry, but it was so heavy that I didn't want it to be my EDC. My self-defense utility EDC. I would like to carry this every once in a while, but I don't want to carry it every day. This one, I can carry every day. And I have been carrying it every day lots of times. Lots of times I do carry this all the time. This is probably my most carried knife right here. Since I purchased this knife and built this knife, this has been my most carried knife. Before it had the gray Grivery scales on it, I liked it like that too. But like this, it's just, I don't know, to me it's beautiful. I like looking at it. I like having it in my pocket at work, and you know, it's fun to play with, it's fun to use, you know, for cutting chores. I mean, it's just a great knife. And I think the shark's foot blade, to me, is more fun to use for opening up packages and boxes than, let's say, a clip point or Bowie style blade. The reason why is that when you open up the package with this one, you have to get your wrist like this to be able to open up the package. With this, you just comfortably just do it like this, or you know, you get down like this. I like that. I like to use it like this a lot to open up stuff. It's just a more comfortable knife to use for opening things, for actually using for cutting chores. This knife is more comfortable. Now, this knife would be better for hunting and outdoors use, no doubt. You know, this type of blade shape. But for everyday cutting chores like opening packages, boxes, and doing food prep and stuff like that, this blade's excellent. It's an excellent blade. And this the D2 version. This is one of the original ones also. These two are my original ones. They're both got the old style blade tangs. And this is my favorite one, right here. Absolutely love these though. I highly recommend the S model, and I highly, highly recommend Skiff Bearings. If you haven't tried Skiff Bearings, you know they make bearings for all kinds of knives, not just these. They make them for every, you know, just about every kind of popular. Let me say popular knife, not every knife, but they make them for just about all the popular knives. There they are, people. Skiff Bearings. Gotta get the Skiff Bearings. For the S models, that you need the 1/4 inch inner diameter pivot bearings with a 1 millimeter thickness ceramic ball bearing. The 8020, the original 8020 model, has bearings with the 1/4 inch inner diameter, same pivot size, but the bearing diameter is different. The bearing diameter on the 8020 model is a 1/16th of an inch, as opposed to 1 millimeter. Go and get them, people. I'll leave a listing and listing and a link and everything, so you can go check out the bearings for yourself if you want to. If you have these kind of knives, and if you've been looking for some ceramic ball bearings like I have been. But anyway, peace out. Stiletto.